Field settles, they're off and racing this time. A little bit slow to begin there was Lord Lindbergh. Mr. Mahogany showing pace shortly after the start with Goodnight Jill. Pure Sovereign's up on the pace as well, settling down. And as they settle down into stride, Mr. Mahogany and driving through Gaia Star lead. In the centre of them, Goodnight Jill there, followed by further back came on the outside Pure Sovereign. Add and subtract, followed by him behind them then as they settle down was Reddleman. There followed by further back in the field then came Luskin Ruler True Image. Followed by on the outside, having said that, getting back out of its ground then as they come down the side was Mooney's Delight. Back in second last placing Lord Lindbergh, and the top weight War Road brings up the rear. Prior to turning for home, Goodnight Jill gets a length in front. Pure Sovereign out after it on the outside. And then further back on the outside came Mr. Mahogany in the straight. Goodnight Jill on the outside, and getting right up along the inside now is Reddleman with a strong run. Goodnight Jill in front. Reddleman right up along the inside. It's Reddleman and also Goodnight Jill. Reddleman going home the better, and Reddleman wins the first. Goodnight Jill was second. Third in the centre would have gone to Pure Sovereign just in front of True Image there, followed by Luskin Ruler. In behind them then to pull up there would have been Mr. Mahogany, followed by War Road. Then further back came Mooney's Delight, add and subtract. And having said that, was one of the last in with Gaia Star. Wait the placings on the first. Have the numbers in just a moment. Race number 1. The white cap and number 10 Chick Louise in a lime cap. Reno Rouge, Huggy Bear, followed by Magical Boy, Laureline. That's Sabrillance. Ready to go at Woolamai for the second. They're off and racing this time. Sabrillance on the outside with Huggy Bear won the start, driving up Crystal City in the early stages. Right up along the inside, Gonda Bell's there as well in a well-bunched field. Settling down, Sabrillance and Huggy Bear lead. Back between them is Gonda Bell, followed by further back then along the inside came Island Caper. They're followed by the outside Salonica Boy. In behind them then as they settle down into stride there would be wide on the track Reno Rouge. Followed by him behind them came Laureline, and dropping out to last of all is Magical Boy. Down the side they come, and the leader is Gonda Bell with about 500 to go. Sabrillance is up on the outside, challenging quickly. Then came Huggy Bear. Further back was Reno Rouge on the rails. Then Salonica Boy from Laureline starting to wind up, and Crystal City in that bunch as well. They're rounding the home turn, and Gonda Bell, and out in the centre of the track, Sabrillance and also Gonda Bell. Gonda Bell on the inside draws a length in front of Sabrillance, trying hard, and further back from a long way back came Laureline, but in the shadows of the post, Gonda Bell's in front, and Gonda Bell wins by a length and a half. Sabrillance got second, third went to Laureline. In behind them, Reno Rouge. Making up ground when it was all over was Magical Boy. Then further back in the field to pull up there was Huggy Bear. There followed by, well back out of it, Sweet Manitou. Followed by on the outside there, Salonica Boy. Crystal City knocked up, and last in was Island Caper. Stand by for the play. What's what? Robert? No, he's at Benalla today. Up there calling the races. Mixing this time. Card Talk over on the outside along with Prince Soretto showing pace shortly after the start. Final Pleasure's up there with Jindy's Gift driving through, Double Sam not far from them. Then came Indian Dinner further back in the field. Then on the outside was Prince Soretto settling down. They're followed by Bedley Castle, back along the inside El Quillo. Then a gap of 2.5 lengths away, then came Red Ralo. Followed by back in turn, then back along the inside came Larada's Son. Back second last is Sinai, and last of all as they come down the side was Kodakays. A good charge up front, Final Pleasure. Back along the inside, Jindy's Gift, and out wide a Card Talk. Just in behind them then came Indian Dinner. Further back El Quillo winding up, and Bedley Castle from Prince Soretto. On the home turn they swing, Card Talk, Final Pleasure, and getting right up along the inside, Indian Dinner and Jindy's Gift there as well. It's El Quillo now driving through to go to the lead. El Quillo grabs the lead in second placing. Indian Dinner getting up along the inside and trying hard as Red Ralo right down the outside. El Quillo in front, and El Quillo's just won. Second Red Ralo, third Indian Dinner. Close up fourth, making ground when it was all over was Larada's Son. Then just in behind them, Jindy's Gift, Sinai. Further back in the field, then pulling up in the bunch there would have been Double Sam, Final Pleasure. Card Talk knocked up. Then in behind them came Prince Soretto. It was back amongst the tail enders with Bedley Castle and Kodakays. Good keen affair, the set. Ready, gates crash open, off they go and racing this time. Who's Black missed it on the inside. And driving to the early lead there up along the inside would be Mr. Christian. Now driving through Imagindi. Imagindi leads Mr. Christian settling down. Racing around the outside to third there came Raff and Tumble. They're followed by further back Mr. Fearless. Then over on the outside was Brilliant Glow. A gap back in the field, Who's Black, and last of all Congressional. Down the side they come. Imagindi in front. In second placing is Mr. Christian, about a length and a half away. Similar margin away third. Then came Raff and Tumble. Brilliant Glow on its outside. Then 3 lengths away came Mr. Fearless. A gap back Who's Black, and last of all is Congressional, swinging for the home turn 220 metres out, and Imagindi will straighten up a length and a half in front of Mr. Christian. Hard-winded and right out on the outside of the track came Brilliant Glow, coming home fairly, and Raff and Tumble getting the split. Imagindi still a length in front of Raff and Tumble, running on, and further back then on the inside was Mr. Christian, but Imagindi clear near the line, and Imagindi scores by a length and a half. Raff and Tumble got second. Third placing went to Mr. Christian. Then Brilliant Glow. Further back then was Who's Black, Congressional, and Mr. Fearless finished at the rear of the field. Weight out placings on the ladies' bracelet handicap. Race number 4, the Island Garden Supplies ladies' bracelet handicap over 1,000 metres. Numbers about to come up into the frame. Followed by Fragilistic. In behind them, Bay Estate. Towards the centre there, Night Image looked to be one of the best to begin. Showing pace also Gamma Llama in the early stages, trap wide. Then further back came Lord Nisku. Now as they come down past us the first time and Lord Nisku gets to the rails and leads, Gamma Llama on his outside is second. Third placing occupied by Bay Estate, then Fragilistic on the inside of Night Image as they swing out of the straight. Then came Calibration. Further back then on the outside was Pampas, followed by Star Tiller the rails. Then Southern Runway, Flicker's Sun, and about 8 lengths last of all as Lad's Eyes as they head into the back straight. And Gamma Llama, the top weight, has taken over in front. In second placing Lord Nisku behind him. Third is Bay Estate as Lord Nisku comes off the rails and joins the leader. Fourth placing is occupied by Fragilistic from Night Image. Further back then was Calibration the inside, a gap of 4 lengths then. Came Star Tiller being passed on the outside by Flicker's Sun. Then Hard Ridden came Pampas, followed by going up on the outside Southern Runway, and 3 away last of all is Lad's Eyes. Up the side they come, 600 to go. Gamma Llama a half length in front of Lord Nisku second. Third is Bay Estate back on the inside there of Fragilistic. Working around them 3 wide, Calibration coming into it well. Then in behind them came Night Image, followed by Flicker's Sun. Well back out of its ground then came Star Tiller, Southern Runway, second last Pampas, and last of all is Lad's Eyes. They're about to swing for the home turn, and out in the centre of the track, Calibrations grabbed the lead from Gamma Llama. Further back in the field then Lord Nisku, Hard Ridden, and Flicker's Sun from a long way back. In the straight though, Calibration is clear for Craig Durden. Calibration's racing away from Gamma Llama, and Calibration scores by about 6 lengths. Gamma Llama got second, third placing Lord Nisku. In behind them Flicker's Sun, followed by Bay Estate, Night Image, Fragilistic. Then further back in the field, there to pull up would have been Star Tiller, Southern Runway. Pampas well back out of its ground, and Lad's Eyes last in. Weight our numbers on race number 5. Calling. Ready for the 6th. And racing this time, missing it slightly there, Kentucky Glen on the inside. Showing pace out of the barrier was the top weight Differing. Gem Trees will range up on its outside early now as they go past the judge, Differing in front. A few of them will be trapped wide here around the first turn. Our very wide Common Kingdom, No Lad, and going up towards the lead as well as Gem Trees, sorting themselves out as they stride towards the 1,300 metre mark, and around the outside Gem Trees with Common Kingdom. Back on the rails came Differing in third placing from No Lad. Then Just Our Kale, Kentucky Glen, followed by Cairo Calling, and Black Landy back at the rear. Along the back of the track they stride, and Common Kingdom draws half a length in front of Gem Trees the inside. Then No Lad up on the outside of Differing. Further back then Just Our Kale. Then Cairo Calling, Kentucky Glen, and Black Landy. A well-bunched field as they stride towards the 800 metre mark. And over on the outside, Common Kingdom a neck in front of Gem Trees. No Lad just in behind them, followed by Cairo Calling going forward on the outside. Then Differing back along the inside, followed by Black Landy, Just Arcale, and Kentucky Glen back at the rear. They've got 400 metres to go prior to the turn. Gemtrees on the inside, and out very wide on the track. Cairo Calling joining in quickly. Cairo Calling's race to the lead from Gemtrees the inside. Then further back, Black Landy from a long way back. In the straight though, and Cairo Calling is about 2 or 3 lengths in front, trying hard down the outside. Then in second placing came Differing. It's Cairo Calling and Differing ranging up on the outside. Cairo Calling hard ridden near the line, comes away again. Cairo Calling a length and a half on the line to Differing. The rider lost the cap in the run. Third placing there went to Gemtrees, followed by Black Landy. In behind them, Kentucky Glen. Then Common Kingdom, followed by Just Arcale and No Lad. Stand by for placings on race number 6. Cairo Calling, you'll find, will be the time quarter 7. Light on, they're set, they're racing this time. Down towards the inside, Green Sovereign came away okay. Showing pace as well was Late Star, and up on the outside, Consenting Lad in the early stages with Magic Ritual. As they head out of the state, Late Star leads Magic Ritual second. Third placing on the inside, Pacific Blast, who's now come off the fence. Green Sovereign his inside, followed by Bell Landy. Further back in the field as they head into the back there was Gormandale Girl, followed by back in second last placing Jindiana. And last of all, bringing up the rear is Consenting Lad. 1,000 metres to go, they stride into the back straight. It's on the inside there in front as they go to the back straight. Late Star in second placing. Moving up on the outside now came Pacific Blast. There followed by further back in the field came Green Sovereign the inside. Well bunched then Gormandale Girl, followed by going forward Bell Landy. Back towards the rear now in last placing is Consenting Lad. Along the side of the track they come. Late Star half a length in front of Magic Ritual up on the outside second. Pacific Blast is third. There followed by Jindiana, followed by further back then Bell Landy the inside, then Gormandale Girl, followed by Green Sovereign, and last of all Consenting Lad. Up the side they come, and Late Star with 400 metres to go is about 3 lengths in front. In second placing Magic Ritual under the bat, then came Pacific Blast, and further back Jindiana, but in the straight 200 metres to go. Late Star's over 2 lengths in front of Trying Hard now Pacific Blast. Pacific Blast ranges up on the outside of Late Star, who's kicking back. Pacific Blast though goes to the lead, and Pacific Blast takes it out. Pacific Blast wins by 2 lengths on the line. Late Star hung on for second, third Jindiana. In behind them then to pull up there would have been Magic Ritual, then Bell Landy, followed by back behind them Consenting Lad, then Gormandale Girl and Green Sovereign. The late scratching Ring of Peace. Stand by for placings on race 7. Call for the vet to the stalls. Light on here at Woolamai for the 8th set. Holds them, they're set, they're racing this time. Onesto missed the start there, and coming away smartly was Cavan Mist, along with down near the inside Flightmaster. A pair lead past the judge with out wider on the track Balmatic Laboot between runners. Wild Bull back towards the inside as they head out of the straight with Blackley Ash, Luskin Ruler, and last of all is Onesto. They've gone past the 1,200 metre mark, and with 1,100 to go now, Cavan Mist takes over in front. Laboot ranges up on the outside second, third the rails Flightmaster, then Balmatic over on the outside of Wild Bull the rails, followed by Flackley Ash going around the outside. A length and a half away then in second last placing came Luskin Ruler, and Onesto brings up the rear. Down past the 800 metre mark, Cavan Mist in front. Laboot a half a length away second on the outside, third the rails came Flightmaster, then further back in the field was Wild Bull, followed by over on the outside Flackley Ash, then Balmatic, followed by Luskin Ruler, and back in last placing under the whip is Onesto. Up the side they come about 600 metres or a bit less to run now. Cavan Mist the leader from Laboot, ranging up on the outside second. Third placing the inside came Flightmaster, then over on the outside was Flackley Ash, followed by Wild Bull starting to wind up, and then a gap back in the field came Luskin Ruler, Onesto and Balmatic last of all in the straight. Laboot up on the outside has grabbed the lead. Laboot in the centre of the track has gone to the lead from Cavan Mist, battling back on the inside, then further back right down the outside. Here comes the Bull. Wild Bull up on the outside is grabbing them near the lead and getting through on the inside. Flightmaster, close one. Flightmaster or Wild Bull. Flightmaster might have just got it in front of Wild Bull there, wide apart. Laboot close up for third there, followed by him behind them to pull up was Cavan Mist with Blackley Ash. Further back in the field then was Laskin Ruler and Onesto second last, Balmatic last in. Oh, driving finish in race number 8. And up on the inside, maybe Flight Master. Might have grabbed the last stride victory from Wild Bull. A close one though. Wild Bull looked the winner, but then tended in with Black Brit. They're racing in the last. Coming away okay there towards the inside was Shoshone, and along with showing pace also was Cashpack in the early stages, and right across them goes Yes I Will. Yes I Will clears them and leads around the first turn. In second placing came Cashpack. Off the track, one off the fence there was Black Brit. They're followed by further back Shoshone, and as they head into the back straight, wider around them then Notable Prince, followed by back in the centre then Marcus Decree. He's being passed over on the outside then by Montmorency. They're followed by further back in the field as they stride down the back now. Shoshonian's got back to second last, and last of all is Dolman. Down the back they head. Black Brit the leader. In second placing, moving up on the outside now came Notable Prince. They're followed by the inside came Yes I Will, followed by just in behind them then. Over on the outside was Buffalo Chief. Then follows Willung Star, who's up there in that bunch as well with Montmorency. It's a well-bunched field, followed by further back in the field, Dolman off around the outside. Dropping back a little then came Cashpack. It's got back towards the rear with Shoshonian, and well back out of it now, hard ridden as Marcus Decree. And Montmorency's now dropped out to last of all. Up the side they come. A new leader, Buffalo Chief, has taken over in front. Right around the outside, running on well now comes Marcus Decree. Further back then, in the centre was Buffalo Chief, but into the straight, and Yes I Will now is getting up along the inside, but Marcus Decree's gone to the lead. Marcus Decree with Yes I Will, and further back then came Buffalo Chief. In the shadows of the post though, Marcus Decree is getting clear, and Marcus Decree wins the last. Second placing, a bob of the head, give it to Yes I Will just in front of Notable Prince, followed by in behind them then came Shoshone, and Dolman the outside. In behind them then came to pull up Buffalo Chief, followed by further back came Cashpack, Willung Star, Montmorency and Black Brit there as well. Stand by for placings on the last. Numbers about to come up on the final event on the program. Stand by for the placings in the last. Marcus Decree. Number 1, Marcus Decree, the winner of the last event on the...
Race Day is proudly brought to you by Smith's Biggs and Ashley and Martin.